Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be doing a review on elevator action returns for the Sega Saturn. Now, I'm going to be completely upfront with you guys. I like/love this game. I know that every community loves a good echo chamber, and this is going to be no different. Now, I do want to say too that everyone should probably set their expectations low. It's a great start to a video, by the way. Everyone, can we all just calm the fuck down? Just set your expectations super low, and maybe, just maybe, you might be mildly entertained. But where I'm going with this is that this review is going to be like all the other reviews I've done so far this year, in the sense that they don't offer any real challenge of opinion. There's no real nuance. And because of that, it doesn't really feel like this review adds much to the conversation of this particular game. But what it does do, though, is it does showcase some of the best the Saturn has to offer. And by the way, I'm not saying that's it. Like, we're all done. I've done all the good Saturn games. That's it. This is a wrap. I'm fucking out of here. I'll see you guys later. No, it's not like that at all. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of this review of Elevator Action Returns. Ever since owning the pseudo Saturn a few months ago, I had this plan to review games I could never own in my current circumstances. This really opened up a door that was previously closed off, and one of the games right at the very top of that list was Elevator Action Returns. Developed by Taito and published by Ving in the arcade originally in 1994, then released on the Saturn in 1997. When I first wrote this review, I said, "What's absolutely baffling is the complete disconnect between critics of its day and now. GameSpot gave it a 5.2 out of 10 and Next Generation gave them a respectable 3 out of 5 at the time of release, but it's not the kind of kudos you would expect from enthusiast groups today. Except there was only one or two that thought it was less than stellar. But most of the other reviewers like Joypad and Megaforce in France, SatMag in Japan, and Sega Saturn magazine in the UK thought it was excellent. Well, without ruining the rest of the review, let me ruin the rest of the review by telling you that I think it's also an excellent game. And here's why. We get a cool video at the beginning, but then it takes us to what looks like a pretty dated menu presentation. Realistically, this is where the complaints start and stop, because the moment we start the game, we're given updated visuals on the classic game, and everything is laid out well. It's a minimal look for sure, but enjoyable nonetheless. On a personal level, I love these graphics. There seems to be more than enough detail where it matters, the colour palette is great, no glitching, and it delivers on the simple premise. Okay, sure there's no 3D, but it just goes to show that a good idea is more important than graphical fidelity. The one caveat I will say is that there's one or two times I got shot because the enemies blended into the background and I couldn't see them. I'm not sure if this is a graphical problem or a presentation problem per se, but it does feel cheap in the rare occasion it happened. There are quite a number of games on the Saturn that really hit high marks in terms of graphics, but it's this sort of 2D action that really thrives on the Sega Saturn. It's a match made in paradise. Maybe during this game's release, critics were looking for games that really pushed the envelope, rather than just be good at what it does. Either way, you're in safe hands here. The thing I like about the soundtrack is the dynamics. The action may never change throughout to keep us entertained, but the music does. On one level, it can be upbeat and exciting, but the next level, it's more subdued and subtle. But the real accomplishment is finding whatever music is playing helps elevate the gameplay, excuse the pun. And the sound effects are really, really good. So I would probably even go as far to say that they're excellent. The core mechanics were simple. You have two buttons, shoot and jump. It's compulsory to enter through all the red doors to continue past a certain point. You can uncover items too by destroying your surroundings, which helps in a big way. You can also upgrade your weapons and enter through the blue doors to uncover a random item. I found this game getting more difficult so slowly that I didn't realise how hard it was getting until later in the game when I was struggling. It's like a frog in a cauldron. You can choose between 3 characters, Cart Bradfield, and that's Cart too, not Kurt, Cart, Edie Beret or Brett, and Jad the Taff. What is a Taff? I'm not really sure. Each character has their strengths and weaknesses, but let's be honest, you'll probably choose Edie. There's 5 ways to die. Your health gauge reaches 0, the player does not finish a stage on time, the player falls from 2 stories or more, the player is crushed by an elevator, or the player fails to complete the final stage before the countdown of 180 seconds. The terrorist will then launch a missile, causing an instant game over with no option to continue. There's replayability in the form of a 2-player and plenty of levels. Would I recommend this game? Yes, but I get it. Your collection needs this game if you want to have any semblance of credibility and taste, yet your wallet says no. I'm in the same boat. Get yourself into either emulation or the Sega Saturn world and take a crack at this. You owe yourself at least that much. It's a title that should be experienced at least once. Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be doing a review on elevator action returns for the Sega Saturn. Now this is actually my second intro for this video because my first one was about me and someone else getting onto an elevator. They cut a fart, which of course this is elevator themed and farts are intrinsically funny if you're 12. I still, as a man who's much older than 12, still find funny. I just locked it. I don't know why. I think it's really not that funny, but anyway, he cuts a fart on the elevator, and that man's name was, of course, and it's the punchline, Albert Einstein, right? Which, again, you know, not that funny. It is funny a little bit. I don't know why I think this is so funny. I had a real serious intro where I wanted to talk about the game and the value of gaming and all that sort of stuff, but now I'm just quite happy with that, I think. Just farts and laughter. That was stupid. Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be doing a review on elevator action returns for the Sega Saturn. Elevator action returns. Well, I know who's not getting any action this week because his wife is on a lady holiday, if you get my drift. Yeah, she'll love me for saying that. Yep, I'm keeping that intro in. She doesn't watch this, so she's asleep, so none of this really matters. Oh, that's fucked up. I'm sorry, that was really bad. Do I keep this now? I feel like it's a shame to throw it away, but at the same time, I really want to talk about the game. Oh, God.